As sad as it is to say, I just don't believe in Treyarch as much as I used to anymore, and honestly, at what point do we start questioning whether we should even buy Treyarch games anymore? I know that's a crazy statement, but earlier today I was watching Milo's Sad State of COD Zombies in 2024 video, and while historically I haven't agreed with Milo on like 90% of the stuff that he says about zombies, something really stuck out to me, and it's that a couple weeks ago there was a ton of layoffs at pretty much every studio that Activision owns, even Treyarch, which reminded me that a lot of the excuses that people have come up with for Treyarch over the last 5 or so years has been that they just don't get the amount of time to cook, they don't get the resources, they don't have the manpower, etc, and obviously those are all very valid. All the game devs are extremely overworked and they are trying as hard as they possibly can. I'm also not one of those people that believes in the Kool-Aid that zombies is constantly dying and this and that and it's all doom and gloom, right? I'm pretty positive when it comes to zombies in general, but right now I'm really not. One of the big excuses people usually also come up with is that, oh, all the old zombies developers aren't there anymore so they can't make good games. Well, newsflash, Kevin Drew's been there since World of War, the actual game director Corky's been there since World of War, and Craig Houston, the guy that writes the story, has been there since World of War. It's not a seniority issue, they know how to make zombies. But why have all of the zombies games since Black Ops 4 just really either not had the time to be as good as they could have been, or showed a lot of potential but just never were capitalized on? And honestly, I do think that it comes down to two issues. It comes down to Activision constantly pulling them off of their own project to work on different ones, and it's the fact that they just don't have enough fucking people. Because we all love Treyarch though, every single time that they are involved with something, we get really hyped about it. We all sit back and say, guys, this is going to be really good. It happened with Vanguard, where as soon as we saw the trailers, everyone was nutting in their pants, going, oh my god, this is going to be the best thing ever. We just came off of Cold War. How could it get any better than this? And then Vanguard came out and we were like, oh wait, never mind. Then the same thing happened with MW3. It was announced that it was going to be Treyarch, and while most people were a little bit skeptical about it, there was still a lot of hype from people, including me, that were excited to see, hey, what can Treyarch cook? It seems like they've been given a decent amount of time to work on this. And sure, the actual launch product that came out was pretty alright, but ever since then, Treyarch just fell off the map with it, and apparently they're not working on it anymore. So it is making me start to question, at what point do we just say, you know what, hey, honestly, even if it is a Treyarch game, I'm not going to pre-order it, and I'm not going to get myself super excited. I'm just going to wait back and see what happens, because I feel like every time I get excited for these games anymore, I'm just getting burned. Zombies has been such a big and important part of my life. I mean, fuck, like, it's my job. It literally is my job to talk about zombies. I love it so much I started a YouTube channel and I've made like 600 videos on it. I've uploaded 11 days in a row on this channel now. Clearly, I enjoy zombies a little bit. And with all of that goodwill that Treyarch has built up with millions of people over the years, it feels like they kind of get endless chances to just keep making something new over and over again, and we just keep huffing that copium of, oh, maybe next year they'll get the resources, or this year with Goal 4, they're going to have all this time. They've had 4 years to develop the game, when it's like, actually, newsflash, they really haven't. The vast majority of the developers that are going to be working on Goal 4 already spent a year working on the post-launch content for Cold War, so now we're down to 3 years of development time. Then they were taken away to go work on Vanguard Zombies. Then they were taken away to go work on Warzone's ranked mode, which they are still working on. Then they were taken away to work on Vanguard's ranked mode. Then they were taken away to work on MWZ. And then MW3's ranked mode as well. Treyarch is constantly working on other studio stuff, and that is a huge problem, and it is going to seep into Goal 4. And now we've got the fact that there's going to be less people at the studio overall. Definitely means that a side mode like Zombies is going to be affected in some way, especially because the last year of development is the most important time. Sure, they'll have like the basics of what's going into the maps and all this other stuff, but where the real polish comes in and the stuff that makes Zombies games fun and replayable is usually added in within the last year. And now that they're not going to have as many people, I'm sitting there going like, fuck man, this might be bad. Which is why I honestly think it's important that the Zombies community steps back for a second and says to themselves, well, honestly, going forward, do we even need Treyarch? Should we even rely on them anymore? Should we just say, hey, let's take Black Ops 3, let's take Black Ops 2, BO1, the stuff that we already have, and just move forward with that and try to make as much good content with them as we can. And it's not unheard of to do what I just said either. There's a lot of franchises out there that were once really beloved and there was a lot of great games for them, but then the developers just slowly didn't add in the things that the community wanted, so they took it into their own hands. So for a community that does have all of these custom mod tools and does have such a passionate fan base, it really shouldn't even be unheard of for us to just decide, hey, you know what, let's just go all in on Black Ops 3 and see what happens. It's not like we've even reached a technical limitation either. I get that the game is from 2015, but honestly, it still runs pretty well, and it seems like modders are pushing this game further and further every single month. Since let's be totally honest with ourselves here, some of you guys have been waiting 9 years for a good zombies game again. Black Ops 3 is going to be 9 this year, and if you didn't like Black Ops 4 and you didn't like Cold War, then you'll have been waiting almost a decade for something that you enjoyed to come out. With that said, I'm not closing the door on Treyarch actually making something good. For all we know, Gulf War could be fucking amazing, but for right now, I just don't have any faith in it. And yes, it hasn't actually been revealed yet, but just going off of everything that we know about Activision and everything that we know is going on internally at Treyarch, I'm not really holding my breath. And for a very dedicated community, honestly, I wouldn't be either if I was you. It's probably going to be okay, but is it going to be something that you were waiting 4 fucking years for? I honestly don't think it's going to live up to those sort of expectations. But clearly, if you're here watching a Black Ops 3 video in 2024, you care about zombies and you still want to play it. So honestly, like I said, it might just be time to go all in on community content. You know, it would be some great community content though, helping me to speedrun to 3,000 subs. You guys have been absolutely insane with the subbing to this channel. We reached 2,000 like 6 days ago. Holy shit, you guys have just absolutely blown me away with it. So why not? Let's just try to get to 3,000 subs as quick as we can. You should also leave a like on the video and comment, honestly, do you really think that Treyarch is capable of making a good game in 2024? It helps me feed the algorithm. It's a big beast and it needs a lot of food, so help me feed. And honestly, do you agree? I'm open to discussion on this. That's what this channel is about, is just having an open discussion about zombies, because clearly we all kind of give a shit about it. So I think it's healthy to have these discussions, even if they're not always as positive as I would love them to be. As I said in the beginning, I'm someone who is usually pretty positive about zombies. Going in MW3, I was extremely excited, but honestly, I feel totally burned by zombies right now. I'm like a lot of people. I feel like zombies is just in a weird state where, should I even really totally trust it? So do your best to be civil in the comments. I'm sure you guys will always do that. Thank you for watching so much. I love you. Hope you have a good night. Bye-bye.